We did not actually go to the moon. It was all filmed and it didn't happen.
We know there are many conspiracy theories out there conspiring to erode public trust.
And the Earth is
flat. Flat.
The Earth is flat.
As disinformation has sprouted across the internet, more malicious conspiracy theories have entered our homes, workplaces, and even the halls of Congress.
What do conspiracy theories say about society in general? Some conspiracies are fun.
The birds you think you see flying in the sky are actually government surveillance drones.
Some little government drone, harmless, playful, while others, a little more messed up.
How does one investigate whether Barack Obama worships Satan or drinks blood?
Well, I would start by putting him in front of a panel of people and asking him.
Is this a rock or government tracking device? We may never know. Yeah, I think it's a rock. We all believe in at least one. Yes, you watching at home. You definitely believe in some crazy bullshit. It's me. Did ancient aliens build the pyramids? Was COVID caused by 5G? Was Princess Diana killed by the Illuminati? Do gingers have souls? Today, I want to get to the bottom of the questions we've all been wondering. Well, this is going to get really interesting. So join me today as I investigate conspiracy theories. On January 29th, 2025, an American Airlines flight from Wichita, Kansas to Washington, D.C. collided midair with a Black Hawk military helicopter, crashing into the Potomac River and killing everyone on board.
The helicopter and the plane crashed in the river.
It's the worst U.S. air disaster in more than 20 years.
The collision midair of a commercial aircraft and a military helicopter.
So how did meticulously choreographed flight paths result in catastrophe?
And as you can imagine, once the story broke, theories started to spread across the internet like wildfire.
I'm telling you right now, they can kill me for saying it, but under no circumstance is a military helicopter, especially a Black Hawk, gonna accidentally crash into a commercial plane. Like, there's no way. But what's on that helicopter, you know? Obviously, something's not adding up here.
Media outlets have reported that this was an accident, a training exercise gone wrong. But people are not believing it.
You expect me to believe that a Black Hawk helicopter collided with an American Airlines flight in DC's most modern and secure airspace.
On that Black Hawk was Pat 25, priority air transport. Makes me wonder what was on that flight.
The American Airlines plane that went down yesterday that collided into that Army Black Hawk chopper, does anybody think something is a little suspicious, a little off?
Saying this crash was somehow caused and the result of diversity hiring, and what evidence have you seen to support these claims?
It just could have been.
Donald Trump gutted a key aviation safety advisory committee.
It just so happened to track the helicopter's path. It just so happened to originate from a very specific address. The current owners are the Embassy of Saudi Arabia.
It's honestly hard to keep up. I have no idea what's going on anymore. And the lines of truth and fiction are completely blurred.
This helicopter had to have seen this plane. Call me a conspiracy theorist all you want.
Imagine breaking into my house and the first thing you see is this. Would you still rob me? There's been another plane crash. Oh boy.
In the United States, the mayor of Philadelphia has confirmed that all 6 people on board the plane that crashed in the city last night were killed.
Fireball exploded in the northeast section of that city on Friday night. Another plane crashes to the ground.
The official story is that this is a medical helicopter that crashed, possibly due to mechanical failure. But if people believe the official story, we wouldn't be sitting here right now.
It doesn't look like a plane did it. To me, it looks like a missile, like we were straight under attack.
Well, how much of a coincidence that the Kansas Chiefs and the Philadelphia Eagles are playing in the Super Bowl, and we have a plane crash in Philadelphia, and the crash with the helicopter and the American Eagle jet was coming from Kansas. An American Eagle jet coming from Kansas.
If you haven't noticed, there's a conspiracy for everything, and I'm starting to lose my damn mind in here. Did Donald cause the crash? Was it Barack or Joe? Perhaps it was the gay pilots. I'm questioning everything. Why on God's flat earth is there an outlet on the ceiling? I don't know what's real anymore. The internet's messing with my head.
Of people who've had these shots and now they're magnetized. They can put a key on their forehead, it sticks. They can put spoons and forks all over them and they can stick.
If there's anything I've learned today, there seems to be an erosion of public trust in the media and government. I don't think those institutions did a very good job holding up public trust.
I don't like them putting chemicals in the water that turn the friggin' frogs gay.
Where am I? And why did I spawn with a mic in my hand? How lucky. All that conspiracy theory research was definitely driving me a little bit insane. Is this tree really a tree? Or a secret Illuminati 5G telephone pole? I decided it's probably best to get back outside again, where the conspiracy theories can't find me. There's been another plane incident.
A United airplane caught fire.
Precaution right now, request fire truck.
Okay, no, I'm not doing this one. No deep dives. It's gonna be like some conspiracy that like Scooby-Doo and the gang blew it up or something. I can't handle it. After that Super Bowl conspiracy theory, I'm done with the planes. It cost me $10 to park in this parking lot. And you'd think with all the $10 they're receiving from us innocent citizens, they could fix these uneven steps. So where's that money going? City Park Corporation people? What's the conspiracy? I think this is a perfect opportunity to go talk to people and discuss with everyone out there what they think. What conspiracies do they believe? Do they trust the government? What is going on? Some wish to remain anonymous, and some didn't. But here they are, and here's what you had to say. I want to know, are there any conspiracies you believe?
I think those are largely generated to create fear and chaos, made to scare people to get them to act accordingly or to get them distracted from what's really going on.
Some of my family members there and people that I know are part of kind of the more alternative communities, and I feel like they can quite easily get trapped in the anti-vax movement, particularly kind of 5G.
The CIA in the 80s and 90s putting crack cocaine in lower income communities, I feel like there is a decent amount of evidence to show that they had some involvement with the crack epidemic.
You know, I believe if the left had taken office one more time, it would have been the last free election.
9/11 was an inside job. There's way too many things that allowed that to happen in Tower 7 going down. Controlled demolition. JFK, clearly CIA murdered him. I don't believe we live on a spinning ball. I don't know what the moon and sun are, but I know that it's not what they say they are. I don't believe that.
Why do you think people don't really trust governments anymore, don't trust the media?
The governments have done quite a good job in eroding trust, for sure, but I would say that social media has allowed for people to spread misinformation so fast. Like, we do know now how much faster negative, bad news travels, rumors, gossip, things like that spread so much faster. than positive news.
I don't think they should have much trust in the government. I mean, it's clearly not acting in the people's best interest. For example, when one person can spend $277 million and buy a president, how do you trust that? It's an oligarchy. It's not a democracy. Yeah. So I don't think we should trust the government. We've seen the government lie to us about things such as pretenses to go into war, like weapons of mass destruction and things like that.
Same reason you don't believe known liars. Like, I've known people in personal life who've lied time and time again, and you just stop believing them. So it's crying wolf. And the government clearly manipulates people.
I think it was when it came to a lot of the misinformation around COVID and vaccines and stuff like that, that it was being led by around 12 accounts online, and then that was being spread. And so it's a small group of people spreading to people who are just naturally inclined to follow stuff which triggers their fear response and their anxiety, and then they spread that and they get more views and they find that community. That is just, it creates this cycle of fear.
Clearly doesn't have our health in the best consideration. And then anytime there's a big hysteria in the media, it's usually warranted by government and big business, big industry to happen, so things on the behind the scenes can happen.
For the future, are you worried about the future with maybe the, social media, the spread of AI?
My number one concern is AI.
I would say that people using these technologies to just further the misinformation, I am definitely pretty concerned about. Surely we got to find a way to be able to make that a way of being able to prove that something is AI generated. That has to go alongside it, something like that.
I think with AI now, it's going to become virtually impossible to know what's real and what's not real. If you're basing it on what you're reading or hearing or seeing, because it's just too easy to fake all of that now. So, yeah, I mean, we're getting to the point where how do you trust anything anymore?
$10 to park here, what a joke. They need to be investigated. I want my money back. I mean, it is beautiful, don't get me wrong. But it should be $5. I guess you could trip on them, I don't know. I think the sign is maybe rocky steps. So what are they trying to keep us from down here? Wow, I really need to get off these conspiracy boards. What's my conspiracy? I think we'll never really know the truth about most things. Sure, some conspiracies may turn out to be true, but in the grand scheme of things, believing in conspiracies is like playing a game of chess against yourself. You move all the pieces, you control the board, and you convince yourself you're winning. None of us are playing as kings. We're all just pawns. And we're all moving one step at a time, while the kings can jump across the board and control every move. So the next time you get lost down the rabbit hole of conspiracies, remind yourself before you get too lost that all of us are a little more connected than you realize. We're all just pawns playing in the king's game. There's a much bigger game going on above us, so don't get lost in the distractions and the nonsense. Alright, this one's pretty uneven, so maybe the sign does make sense, but still pissed off by the $10 thing. Please like and subscribe, or I'll send the government to your house. Bye! Fuck these steps.